viral disease is any illness or health condition caused by a virus. Viruses invade cells in the human body and use components of those cells to help them multiply. This process often damages or destroys infected cells. Nigeria, no doubt, has had its own fair experience of these viral diseases and even became a global reference for its proactiveness in tackling the Ebola virus disease when it reared its ugly head into the country in 2014. The West African sub-region and the world at large is once again threatened by Ebola disease, having found a safe haven in the Democratic Republic of Congo. On this edition of Health Options, we beam our searchlight on the country's viral disease burden, the gaps in terms of prevention and treatment, as well as the threats of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo, on Nigeria, the West African sub-region, and beyond. How much do you know about the safety or benefits of the water you drink when it comes to the power of hydrogen, also known as the pH level of the water? Join us on Nature Scanner and you will get to know how to ascertain whether the water you drink is too acidic and how to get it alkalized the natural way. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. And joining me now in the studio to take us through the topic for discussion is Professor Abdulsalam Nasidi. He is a foremost virologist who has seen it all, right from when HIV was first detected in the country in 1985 to when the deadly Ebola virus disease was imported into the country in 2014. He was the pioneer Director General of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and currently Provost, College of Health Sciences, University of Africa, Toruorua, Bayelsa State. Welcome to Health Options, Prof.
Thank you, Rabi.
All right, good to see you again.
Me too.
Just start by letting us into just what are viral diseases.
Well, you said it all in your introductory comments. Viruses are among the tiniest organisms created by God that is contained of only the gene. It can be the DNA or RNA, any of these genes that determine what we are, and then covered by a coat. So they are so tiny that they can't survive on their own. So they have to infect a cell, either human cell, animal cell, plant cell, any cell. They are deadly, they are very interesting creations. So to survive. So they survive only in these cells. Unfortunately, in the process of surviving in these cells, they multiply. So in the process again of multiplication, they destroy those cells they infect and cause disease. Okay.
Yeah. Let's look at our immediate environment. Talking about Nigeria now, we've had our fair share, like I rightly said in the introduction. We had to grapple with monkeypox at some time. We still have hepatitis at a high level. We still have HIV, even though we've done some recorded some progress, and of course we were once hit by the Ebola virus disease, which is currently really causing havoc in the Democratic Republic of Congo at the moment. What does this portend?
As you rightly mentioned, you have the common several types of viral infections. But the ones that are most common among us, we should list them now and then address them. You start with the common cold. The common cold or the flu is virtually everywhere, most of the time, all through the year. And it doesn't change much as the epidemic flu viruses. Those ones, they change, virtually every year, they mutate. So the type that causes an infection on epidemic this year, by next year might not be the same. It might be completely different, but giving same symptoms, same infection rate, and at times same very high death rate. So if you have vaccines against them, and you think you have universal vaccine, it might not work. So the viruses are constantly changing. Now, if you go to the hepatitis B, hepatitis C viruses. These viruses are known not to only cause a particular viral disease, but they have now been associated that they also cause cancers. Take for instance hepatitis B. The causal relationship between hepatitis B and primary liver cancer is strong, if not stronger than cigarette smoking and lung cancer. We now have viruses causing multiple types of or stages of diseases. They cause acute infection. If not well managed, they lead into chronicity, chronic infection. But the worst is that this virus can lead to cause the cancer of the liver, which is not curable. All of a sudden, they start seeing a disease in people that have lost their immunity, caused by a virus that was not known before. And this virus, you know, is now what we know as HIV. What does it do? Unfortunately, just like hepatitis B, it has the ability to cause infection. It has ability to cause other chronic diseases. And it's now been shown that it can also cause cancers or lead to cancers. So you can see that a new virus or new viruses keep appearing and reappearing. Unfortunately, again, you will now also have other group of viruses that were known before, but we don't know their source in the nature, or we're not very sure of their source.
What about that of Lassa fever?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to.
Okay.
So they circulate in the nature, you know, and we don't know their this very well. Before we found out that actually they infect some group of rabbits or rodents, rats. Let me use the common language. That in those rats, they don't cause disease. So the rats are just healthy carriers. But when the rats come into your house and, you know, invade your food and all this, and you come into contact with that food, you can catch the disease.
Yeah, we know that we
and that
have
is Lassa.
Lassa. We have all of that with us now. For instance, I know that for last year alone, the Lassa outbreak, you know, was said to have killed 20% of those infected, which is quite, you know, a large number. My worry here is that we have these viral diseases in our midst now, year in, year out. What is it about Nigeria as a country that, you know, makes these diseases thrive?
Actually, it's not just only Nigeria. Most of these viruses also have some characteristics. Some of them are localized. For instance, this Lassa fever virus, you can't find it outside West Africa. It's never been reported, you know, circulating and multiplying outside West Africa. So if you hear it in America or in Europe or in Asia, it is transported there by somebody. So it's not that we are not doing anything and it is thriving in our country. There's these dynamics. You know, first and foremost, they were occurring in rats, mostly in the bush, very rare around the houses. But the population of Nigeria is increasing rapidly, just like the president mentioned not long ago. The population of these rodents that are transmitting the disease, they are also multiplying. And then we are now invading the bushes or where they are living. So
their habitat.
Their inhabitants. So what do you expect? Increase in incidence of the disease. I will say that we are not having some lapses in, let's say.
Yeah, that's what I want. Where I'm going. What are the gaps?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the gaps. One is that initially our surveillance system was very weak, so we seldom were differentiating in the clinic which one was actually malaria, typhoid fever, or, you know, hay fever or any fever, anything that comes. Or even TB at times, any fever, any headache, any malaria, any this very quickly we say, you know, typhoid. In fact, these are the most common diagnoses in Nigeria, and that is because our diagnostic capabilities were weak. Unlike these other countries, when any fever, whatever you have, they send your medicine to lab and start investigating. Nobody gives you any drug until they've confirmed what is happening with you. Okay, then the second issue is our weaknesses in ability to diagnose, like I mentioned. You know, our laboratories were weak.
Yeah, because some samples from here need to be taken out to other countries, you know, whenever there's an outbreak. So what can we do to close such a gap? Okay,
so these were the things that made us to actually think that we need to establish our own CDC. instead of sending everything abroad, doing everything abroad, waiting for them from abroad to come and tell us what to do when we have the outbreaks, the Nigerian CDC. So now with the Nigerian CDC in place, I can assure you, more than 95% of all our samples, all our cases of viral infections that we are seeing or other outbreaks, we are diagnosing it ourselves. But despite the fact that we have increased our capability to diagnose, and we can do it ourselves now, the WHO still says all these outbreaks that have international importance must be reconfirmed by the WHO reference laboratory. So even other countries, not necessarily that only Nigeria, after we have confirmed that yes, we are dealing with, let's say, yellow fever, Nigerian laboratory here can diagnose yellow fever. NCDC labs can diagnose yellow fever easily. They must send to a another WHO reference lab to confirm that yes, this what Nigeria confirmed is yellow fever. Then WHO will report that Nigeria has confirmed yellow fever. All countries be careful, take action. So it's not weakness to say that, oh, we are sending samples out. It's not a shame. It's a practice. So people shouldn't take it as if we are weak.
I know there's a lab in Senegal where we normally what sample was it yellow fever?
No, that all viral, all infections of international concern that WHO say this is very important. International importance, not concern. International importance. There are listed diseases like that. Among them is yellow fever, measles, this, that, polio, Ebola, all this. So all these group of diseases, when you diagnose them in your country, it must be sent to a another WHO reference lab to confirm whether what you find is true or not. Okay, so
but is it not possible to have one in Nigeria? Can't WHO establish one?
No, that is. I'm happy that you raised that question.
Yes.
That's what I was coming to. Before you could actually get a WHO reference lab, we had WHO reference lab in influenza. We have WHO reference lab, for yellow fever in Ibadan one time. It went off. But we have WHO reference lab for HIV/AIDS in Nigeria. So you could have WHO reference lab on other diseases you don't have for all diseases. Okay. Nigeria has also WHO reference laboratories, but not, let's say, for the yellow fever one in Ibadan went off, and so on and so forth. So now the next problem is carefree attitude to known public health interventions that pay off. Nigerian government, Nigerian people were not very serious in interventions that could actually be very cost effective, that will keep them healthy.
That's immunization.
Immunization, public health, health promotion, and community mobilization.
Talking about the Ebola virus disease that is ravaging the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah.
The threats are there. Nigerians are highly mobile people. We're known to be that. What danger does that portend? Do you think we're being proactive enough in terms of so that we don't get caught snapping like the late Patrick Sawyer, caught us snapping then? I don't know.
About 2,880 cases reported and very high case fatality rate. About 1,900 are dead. More than almost 60 something, getting to 70%, 80%, which is not acceptable.
Okay, considering the success we recorded when the virus found its way into Nigeria, do you think that we could still use that platform to keep it at bay? Are we doing enough? Are we being proactive? What should we be doing?
Yes.
What are we not doing that we should be seen to be doing at the moment?
Yeah. In the year 2014, when Ebola came into Nigeria, the NCDC that we established was not yet strong. It was information, but we used it to mobilize the whole nation. We used it to really, develop our own health intervention strategy to fight it, and it worked. It worked very well. We received WHO accolade.
Yes.
But what is happening is, if at that time we were not so strong and also we could do what we did, the NCDC now is very strong. They have really improved it. The new head of the center, Dr. Chikwe Hekwazu, I can openly say he's doing so excellently well. We are proud of him. He has moved it, several steps ahead. So now, for us to be able to do what we say we shall do if, let's say, Ebola comes in again into Nigeria,
which we don't pray,
yeah, is that to now let's strengthen the institutions that can fight it. The port health services are already working very well. They are using the thermalism to screen, even though it's not very effective, but at least they have issued, some statements, red alert and the public health alert, that all airlines, all this is, so already steps have been taken. The NCDC are already establishing EOCs, emergency operating centers, and almost how many, 14 or 15 states of the country. So, and states with large population that could actually feel the impact if this disease comes to Nigeria are already having very good EOCs. And one of the best effective way to fight communicable diseases is early detection. So if you can have those systems, the emergency operating centers, that they will have lab, they will have surveillance, they will have labs all involved, then already our state of preparedness is much higher than what we were before.
Okay, what about on the part of individuals now, talking about hygiene and all of that?
That's why we are weak, that we are taking this for granted. Any infectious disease occurring in any country is a threat to any other country, because it can jump from one country to another country within maximum 12 hours, 24 hours.
So we should remain on our toes.
So we should remain on our, oars or this on our toes, and to make sure that we are on the stage 1 alert, level, so that we don't take anything for granted. And one of the things that we need to be doing more, even than the lab and surveillance, is to be doing the health promotion, telling Nigerians what is really happening. Even you, the press, you should be talking more on this Ebola. CNN and our BBC, all this, they are even speaking more than African press. There's a time I had a criticism that, well, how come African press is not talking much about this threat, that could come and affect everything, even our economies and so on and so forth. So it is a good thing what we are doing now, for us to tell the people of Nigeria, say that don't panic, but that it could come, and that if it comes, remember what we did last time. Be ready and know what the disease is. Okay,
thank you so much, Professor Bisalami Nasidi, for making out time to join us on Health Options.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's time for us to take our nature scanner, and the focus is how you can get your drinking water alkalized the natural way.
The alkalinity or acidity of water we drink is very, very essential. It has been established that a very corrosive water can lead to a lot of problems. An alkaline atmosphere, alkaline water.
Which is the corrosive water?
Corrosive water is water that is too alkaline and it's too acidic. Anything outside the range of 6.5 to 8.5, when it is measured, pH is acidic or alkaline, and both of them are corrosive. They are not healthy. So how do you make sure that the water you are taking, one, you have to ascertain the level of acidity or alkalinity of the water you are taking by doing a simple test. They sell the litmus paper in the market, which you can use to test your water, and the color range, you compare it with the chart on the pH litmus paper. You can also use a pH drop, just like this. When you use the pH drop, the color chart too gives you when it is acidic, when it is alkaline, and when it is neutral. By the time you do that, you have an idea of the water you have at home, how acidic or how alkaline it is. There are different ways of ensuring and improving or the alkalinity of your water. There is what they call ion exchanger. You can buy it, but it's quite expensive. But there are natural ways by which you can do it yourself, by which you can improve on the alkalinity of your water. This is by using this nature's gift of lemon. Lemon has been found to be very, very effective. Lemon juice. For this particular fruit now, you can use from quarter to a whole one, and it should not be too much. At least maximum of one in a day. By the time you put the lemon inside the hot water, and the lemon water, the juice get into your body, it alkalizes your body system and make sure that the body performs at the optimal best. Most of the water we buy, we are not sure of the pH. And that is why it is advisable that you know the pH of your household water. Because sometimes even the water that you take, maybe the borehole is the source of your water, maybe it is the treated water that you buy like bottled water. Try and know the pH. Most of the bottled water, the storage has affected them. They store them under the sun, which has affected their pH and other qualities. So it is advisable that whatever the source of your water, one, ensure the pH and other qualities are okay. Then you can now improve on the quality by using different sources like the lemon juice that we have mentioned, or by using an ionizer. And most of the water that we buy in the market, this is a typical example. You are thirsty, you take a typical soft drink and you think you are using it to quench water. By the time you test the pH, yes, you will see that it is highly acidic. Let me add just 2 drops to this, and you see the difference. I'm putting just 2 drops here. You will see the various color. This is ordinary source of water that I personally take, and I'm sure of the source. This is a bit within the range too. It's not too bad, but this is highly alkaline, very dangerous too, corrosive, and it can lead to a lot of problem too. This one is acidic, and you can see the color. This is a typical soft drink that you take and think you are quenching water, quenching your thirst. You are not actually quenching your thirst, but you are actually causing and adding a lot of acid to your body. By the time you do this, you can do this by yourself. You can also use litmus paper. You can take it to the nearby lab. Yes, because the water you are drinking could be a major source of your problem, unidentified problem, diseases, neurological problem. All sorts of things have been implicated with bad water pH. Even miscarriage. It can lead to a lot of problems. GIT problem, skin irritations, eye irritations that you not even know the source. Meanwhile, it is the water that you are using, that you are drinking, that you are using to cook, that is a major problem. And when we can remove the pH of water and ensures that your water, in fact, there's another that says there cannot, where the water is alkaline, it is difficult for you to have diseases or any problem. Cancer cannot grow in an alkaline environment. Okay. Once you do the test, place your colors beside the chart. The chart will give you the specific pH. Based on the color. Based on the color. So, but for healthy water, it has to be within the range of 6.5 to 8.5. And you can see this is between the range of that 6.5. This is about 7 point something. This is about maybe 8. This is beyond 10. And this is less than 3. Once it is low, once it's below, it is acidic. And acidic conditions groom a lot of diseases, groom a lot of problems, and is likely to cause a lot of health problems and health challenges. So as one has to be very careful, how safe does the pH of the water you drink matters? Yes, the pH of the water that you drink matters a lot, and it goes a long way to actually affect your health and your well-being.
And this is where we end this week's edition of Health Options. You can go to our YouTube channel to watch the upload of these and other episodes of the program. Email us for your comments and contributions at healthoptions@nta.gov.ng. My name is Rabi Abdullah. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.